So, let's talk about the next giant leap for AI. I mean, we're all pretty used to chatbots by now, right? They can answer your questions, write an email. But what if an AI could go beyond just telling you what to do and actually, do the work for you? That's exactly where we're headed.
I want you to think about your workday for a second. Does it ever feel like this? You've got, like 20 tabs open for research. You're constantly copying and pasting stuff into spreadsheets. It's that digital busy work that just eats up so much of our time. Sound familiar? And that right there, that's the big promise of this next wave of AI. We're talking about a shift from these passive tools that just wait for us to give them a command. We're stepping into the era of AI agents. Think of them as active digital partners, designed to take on tasks and get stuff done, all on their own.
Okay, so to really get a feel for this, let's start with a super simple, super practical example. Seriously, anyone can build this today, and you don't need to write a single line of code. This is how you can see it working in the real world. So the foundation for our little agent here is a tool called Perplexity AI. The best way to think about it is like a search engine that doesn't just throw a bunch of links at you. No, it actually reads them, it understands them, and then it gives you a straight-up answer, complete with citations. It's kind of perfect for automated research.
And here's the fun part. We can turn this into a real agent using no-code tools like Zapier or Make.com. So picture this. You have a Google Sheet, and whenever you find an interesting article, you just drop the URL in there. The second you do that, it triggers an action. Perplexity jumps in, reads the article, summarizes the key points, and then bam, it saves that neat little summary right into a Google Doc for you. You've just built yourself an automated research assistant.
But, research is really just the tip of the iceberg. Once you grasp this idea of connecting an AI brain to your other apps, well, the possibilities just explode across all kinds of different business functions.
I mean, the versatility here is incredible. Just think about it. You could have an agent that automatically digs up company info on new leads in your CRM, or maybe one that takes a blog post title you drop in a list and instantly generates a full structured outline. You could even have agents that watch market trends and pop a weekly summary into your team's Slack, or take one article and spin it into customized posts for LinkedIn, X, and Facebook. They basically become these little digital specialists for your team.
So you might be wondering, okay, but how is this really different from a chatbot like ChatGPT? And that is a fantastic question. The magic isn't just about having a smarter AI model. It's about a whole new way of using it. It's a fundamental shift in how we think about this stuff.
And this right here really nails the difference. A chatbot, well, it's a passive tool. You give it a prompt, it gives you a response. It waits for you. An AI agent, though, is an active partner. You don't just give it a prompt, you give it a goal. And then it works on its own to make it happen. The AWS Compute blog puts it perfectly. They say it's a move away from just passive content generation and toward autonomous, goal-driven behavior. The AI isn't just sitting there waiting for your next instruction, it's figuring out the instructions for itself. And this is all powered by a process they call an agentic loop. It's a cycle, and it's pretty straightforward. First, the AI will reason. It takes a big goal, like research my competitor, and breaks it down into baby steps. Then it acts. It uses a tool like its ability to browse a website. Next, it observes the result. What did it find? Is it useful? And finally, it feeds that observation back into its reasoning to figure out the next best action. It just keeps repeating that loop, reason, act, observe, until the entire goal is finished.
Now, this whole agentic loop idea isn't just for, hobbyists connecting a few apps together. This technology is being built for really serious enterprise-level work.
So to build these systems at scale, developers are using some pretty sophisticated frameworks. You've got things like the Strands Agents SDK from AWS, which is for building rock-solid production-ready agents. And you're also seeing open standards pop up, like the Model Context Protocol, or MCP. Just think of these as the universal plugs and sockets that let agents securely connect to any tool, which is how you build a standardized and scalable AI workforce.
All right, so we've seen agents that can do tasks based on what we tell them. But this next part, this is where it gets really, really mind-bending. We're talking about agents that can get better at their jobs all by themselves.
So let me ask you this. Can an AI actually practice a skill, analyze its own failures, and then literally rewrite its own instructions to get better while you sleep? Well, the answer is increasingly yes.
The concept is called the auto research loop. Basically, it's a system where an agent can run itself through a series of tests, measure how well it did, look at its failures to figure out what went wrong, and then generate new, improved prompts for itself to try again. It's like an AI that coaches itself.
So let's see what this looks like. First, you have to get a baseline.
Let's say you've got an AI skill that's supposed to handle customer support tickets. You run it through a bunch of tests and it only passes your quality checks 45% of the time. Okay? Not great, but that's our starting point.
Then you switch on the auto research loop. After just 12 automated cycles, where the AI has tested itself, failed, analyzed why, and rewritten its own logic, the pass rate has shot up to 73%. And get this, no human touched a thing.
So you let it run overnight. After maybe 30 or more of these improvement cycles, you come back in the morning, and the agent has now pushed its own performance to an 85% pass rate. It has become a highly reliable digital worker without any human stepping in to make it better. I mean, this is a complete game changer. The software is now responsible for its own improvement.
So what this all points to is this really fundamental change. We're moving away from a world where we have to command our tools one step at a time, and into a world where we partner with these active, goal-driven agents that can plan, act, and even get better on their own.
And that leaves us with this one last, pretty big question to think about. When your digital assistants are no longer just static tools, but can actually learn and improve themselves, what becomes possible then? Thanks for tuning in.